Round two. All right, let's go. I think we're live. Little technical glitch there. How's everybody doing? What a huge win for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the 18th annual Banjo Bowl. Welcome inside Game Day After Dark here on Bonfire Sports. My name is Darrin Bauming, soon to be joined by Zach Schnitzer, who got lost in the crowds of the Banjo Bowl. I joke, he will be joining us momentarily, but really appreciate all you guys for jumping on and joining us here tonight. What a game. Dominance, utter, complete dominance from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense. 4 possessions in the first half, 4 touchdowns. And what really was impressive was watching the way Winnipeg tried to dominate time of possession. In a game like this, a rivalry game on the road for the Riders, Winnipeg's MO was to ensure momentum did not get out of the Blue Bombers' hands. And the way that they dominated with the time of possession, 10 plays, 73-yard drive to get things going, to go up 6-0, missed Mark Leggio convert. What is it about 32-yard kicks for the young man? And then forcing a 2-and-out from Saskatchewan on their first possession of the game. And then Winnipeg able to put together a 7-minute drive to go up 13-0, 13 plays, 97 yards. And through one quarter, Winnipeg pretty much took all of the possession outside of maybe a minute and a half, as Saskatchewan's offense, led by Cody Fajardo, just wasn't able to get too much going. Text the hotline 816-TIPS. That's 204-816-8477. Your thoughts, your stories about the 18th annual Banjo Bowl. Just a huge win, 54-20. Anytime a team hits 50 points in the Canadian Football League, in any football league, it tells a story of dominance on offense. Of course, part of the storyline going into this game and throughout the game, even Mike O'Shea touched on it after the game today, was the Saskatchewan Roughriders, whether it was a stomach bug or food poisoning or whatever it might have been, kept a handful of their players off the field and not able to play, including their backup quarterback, Mason Fine. Was not able to dress, so they had to fly in Jake Dolagala last minute from Regina to Winnipeg. Keenan Schaefer-Baker, their linebacker, Justin McInnes was unable to play, so 2 receivers out of their lineup there, 2 linebackers in Johnson Jr. and Bringy, defensive back Clark, and offensive lineman Josiah St. John left the Saskatchewan Roughriders a little bit depleted as far as who they were able to dress. Saskatchewan, a little bit, I don't know if it was desperation or just trying to get something going. 3 times they went for it on 3rd down in the first half. But really it wasn't until midway through the second quarter, Saskatchewan was able to get something going, and a great response down 13-0. Where they put together a 16-play, 99-yard drive that got them back in the game, 13-7. Another moment in that game that really got them back in was Mario Alford's 92-yard kick return touchdown to kick off the second half. That brought Saskatchewan to within 10, down 27-17. But really, the defense did their job and the offense went out and dominated. You have to look towards not just Zach Collaros, but offensive coordinator Buck Pierce dialed up a perfect game plan, as perfect as one could hope, for his team to do what they did on offense. Was really something. And I think that is the takeaway from this game, Winnipeg's utter dominance on the offensive side of the ball. Drew Brown came in late, was able to orchestrate a touchdown drive, but just one of 2 passing for 11 yards. It was Zach Collaros that really put in work. The offensive line kept him clean for the most part. Collaros went 21 of 25, 84% passing, 273 yards, 4 touchdowns. no interceptions. Dakota Prukop comes in. He rushes for 2 touchdowns. What an unbelievable story and weapon Dakota Prukop has been in Winnipeg this season. How about Rasheed Bailey? This guy had his coming out party, caught everything thrown his way. 5 catches on 5 targets, 83 yards, including a long of 34. Lots of yak yards. Of Rasheed Bailey's 83, 40 came after the catch. 2 second down conversions and the touchdown. Probably the highlight of the year so far, I would argue, the way he was able to take that yards after the catch, run, and turn it into a touchdown, stretching, extending as far as he could, just clipping the pylon in the corner of the end zone. Huge play for Rasheed Bailey and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Just looking for that touchdown here. That made it 27-7 Winnipeg at that point. Brett Lowther able to respond with a field goal, a quick 4-play, 26-yard drive for Saskatchewan to come to within 17 at the half. And then I mentioned that Mario Alford 92-yard kick return touchdown early in the second half. This game was far from won, despite Winnipeg scoring touchdowns on each of their 4 possessions in the first half. Yeah, I agree with you, Eric. Best game of the season so far from Rasheed Bailey. Love everybody in the comments tonight. Keep it coming. Zach will be joining us momentarily, and we'll get into our Walby's Warrior, Westwood's Wide to the right, our Happy Honker, and our game balls, and so much more here on the program. 54-20, the Bombers win and move to 12-1 on the season. What's up next? Well, they got a trip to Hamilton in 7 days' time. Saturday, September 17th. It's a 3:00 Central Time kickoff, 4:00 Eastern in Hamilton, and then the second of 3 byes on the season for Winnipeg. We'll see when they return to the practice field, presumably Monday, probably Tuesday, the health status of Drew Wolodarski, who left the game in the first half. It was on Dakota Prukop's first touchdown run and just seemed to get kind of trampled up in the first quarter. He left the game, as did Nick Taylor and Noah Hallett, which was absolutely heartbreaking to see. Possibly a re-aggravation or an aggravation of that previous knee injury. Everybody's been talking about Brandon Alexander and still not ready to return. We'll see what this practice week brings for the Blue Bombers all-star safety. But Noah Hallett has been right there with Brandon Alexander in recovery all year, all offseason as well. Noah Hallett had not played a football game in nearly a year, and tough to see him go down and to the locker room in the second half. So we'll look towards that in Noah Hallett. We'll look towards Nick Taylor in the defensive secondary. And then, of course, with Drew Wolodarski going down, he had a very, very nice catch early in the game, a 9-yard grab, just bringing them short of a first down. Prukop able to come in and move the chains and lead to a touchdown drive. But in came the man I affectionately refer to as Bolo, because it's tough to type out such a long name. Brendan O'Leary Orange, son of longtime Argonauts running back Doyle Orange. Brendan steps in the absence of Drew Wolodarski tonight. 2 catches on 5 targets, pulls in his first career touchdown, 33 yards, averaging 16.5 yards per catch. Had a second down conversion as well. Lots of yards after the catch, including 12 after pulling in a catch. He was very good. I agree. Eric's been, hey, I guess I just agree with Eric all night. Bolo looked great. Yes, indeed he did. Great to see everybody in the live chat tonight. Jeff Cabillas, what's going on, man? Fritchie, Dallas, Lynn, Seabrooks, Towzen, what's going on? Good to see you back as always. Waiters 27. Waiters, get at me. I got a question for you about your awesome YouTube page. Send me a message and hopefully we can link up. Fritchie asking who scored on that Drew Brown TD. I'm just going to pull up the live play here. That is a good question. It was tough getting out of IG Field tonight, at least quickly. I wouldn't say it was tough getting out. It was tough getting out quickly if you left early, just because, a lot of people with a huge margin of victory for the Bombers trying to get out of there early, maybe get out to dinner before it gets too dark out. But maybe people just trying to get out like I was and get in here on game day after dark. That Drew Brown touchdown pass was an 11-yard strike to Dalton Shone. His 10th touchdown of the season ties him with Dominic Rhymes of the BC Lions for the most touchdown receptions this season. Colaris leads the CFL with 26 touchdowns, is third in passing, just behind Nathan Rourke and McLeod Bethel Thompson, with about a 200-yard lead in the passing yards stats in the CFL so far. Brady Oliveira, 3 yards shy of 700 yards on the season. And I will correct myself. Dalton Shone, the rookie, leads the Canadian Football League 2/3 of the way through the schedule with 10 touchdowns on the season. A walk-on at Kansas State, alma mater of longtime CFL strong-arm quarterback Michael Bishop. Talking to Dalton Shone earlier this season, knows all about Michael Bishop, an absolute legend at Kansas State University, but did not know Michael Bishop played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers late in his career. So kind of a cool story there about the legendary status of Michael Bishop and, just the disconnect between him at K-State and obviously a great career here in the CFL. Keep the questions in the comments coming. Zach Schnitzer will be joining us very soon. Yeah, let's talk about this young man. Been mentioning him on the Bonfire Sports shows here for a while now. Nick Demski is elite. Hard to argue. He was everywhere tonight. Got nicked up at one point, got his ankle taped up, back out onto the field, and he was just so good. 2 carries for 10 yards, which was a nice thing that nice dynamic that he can bring to the Buck Pierce offense, but pulls in 2 touchdowns tonight, catches 7 of 8 targets, 71 yards, 1 second down conversion. Of his 71 yards, 44 came after the catch. Nick Demski is the real deal. And my good friend Scott Billick of the Winnipeg Sun tweeted during the game, how could Saskatchewan ever let Nick Demski go? Well, I snarkily replied on Twitter, as Twitter is good for and known for, Chris Jones. Chris Jones just does not like to pay high salaries to Canadians. Will pay it on the offense and defensive line, but just likes athletes, doesn't like, to bring in, that high-priced Canadian talent. Well, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers definitely the beneficiary of that short-sightedness from the Saskatchewan Roughriders about 4 or 5 years ago. And Nick Demski really emerging into true star status in the Canadian Football League. He was an absolute beast tonight and very likely will be up for the running with one of those Walby Warrior shoutouts. Phyllis, yes, you're here too. Great to see you. Gregory Liverpool, One Bird, Olamim, good to see you. Booch is in the house. What's going on, Booch? Beef Cup 89, you're new, or at least you're new to the live chat. Thanks for joining us here on Game Day After Dark. Dallas Pauls is in the house. Is Taylor okay? Presumably Nick Taylor. We do not know. The Blue Bombers always hush-hush and lips sealed when it comes to post-game injury updates. So don't expect anything on Nick Taylor or Drew Latarski or Noah Hallett until the Winnipeg Blue Bombers return to the practice field this coming week. Bomber fan in the building as well. Good to see you, Bomber fan. Shone has a better touchdown per offensive pass interference ratio, so holds the tiebreaker on Rhymes. I was unaware of that. Good to know. Appreciate that. Corey May also in the house. I wonder if Zach enjoyed the game. Yeah, Zach enjoyed the game. He is fired up. I was learning from his mother-in-law last night that he actually like goes to the games with. And in talking to her, he's got all these like superstitious little actions that he has to do when the Blue Bombers are on offense or on defense or kicking off or the rest. I would like to get to know a little bit more about that when the Zach Schnitzer, rejoins the show a little bit later tonight. What a stud find for the Bombers. Yeah, for Dalton Shone, unbelievable performance this season for the CFL rookie. Lynn Reimer chiming in saying Dalton Shone's 10th touchdown ties a record from 1951, where a rookie, Neil Armstrong, had 10 touchdowns in a season. The astronaut? No, I don't think so. But I will have to trust you there, Lynn. We'll look into that as well. Itchy Scratchy the Barbarian is in the house watching live on YouTube. Itchy says, Collaros has to be the league leader in passing percentage. That's a good question. I'm going to pull that up right now. If I'm able to find it, I might have to go out of the league leaders here and then just go to quarterbacking and see if I can find passing percentage for Zach Collaros. But as I mentioned, Brady Oliveira leading the league with 697 yards rushing. And there is Dalton Shone in 5th place in receiving yards with 830 on the season, about 19 yards behind Kenny Lawler. 19 yards behind Kenny Lawler is free agent American rookie Dalton Shone of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. How about that, Bombers fans? Says a lot about the work Ted Gavaya, Danny McManus, Mike O'Shea, Kyle Walters all do finding talent and unearthing these diamonds in the rough. Really, really does say something. And got to give a shout out to Kyle Walters and his new bride who were at the party we had last night. It was the Prairie Rivalry Bash at Finn McCool's on Grant. So many people there last night, Riders fans, Bombers fans. I think there was a Rider fan there who is 100 years old. How awesome is that? Making the trip to Winnipeg, the pilgrimage east for the Banjo Bowl as Bomber fans make that pilgrimage west for the Labor Day Classic. Just awesome. Awesome energy there last night. It was great to meet so many people who were out there watching and listening here on Bonfire Sports. Thanks for making my night, coming over, saying hello, had some hugs, had some selfies. That was a lot of fun. Well, okay, there's the guy. There's the Schnitz. He says, see y'all soon, just putting the little monster to bed. Okay, Zach, we are waiting with bated breath for you. Eric, Demski is clutch. No question about that. I think this echoes the sentiments of so many with 33,234 capacity crowd attendance sellout at IG Field tonight. P. Stan Makita, who's watching live on YouTube, says these are the best days to be a Bomber fan he can remember. He or she, forgive me if I'm mistaken there. But yeah, P. Stan nails it. The energy inside IG Field right now, like I tweeted a little video to see the crowd so full and energized and loud, especially when the Roughriders offense was on the field, is just amazing. Like sitting next to a couple Winnipeg reporters talking about the energy we feel inside Canada Life Center, Bell MTS Place, Bell MTS Center through the years, and comparing it to the energy in IG Field on a beautiful, crisp, late summer night like tonight or like today for the Banjo Bowl matinee. I don't know if you can compare the two. I don't know if we should compare the two, but that energy, that special feel, you can just feel it, is really something to behold. If you haven't been to a Blue Bombers game in a while, grab some tickets. Head down to the ballpark. You're going to have a great time, I promise. Plus, you're going to see one of the best CFL teams this league has seen in a long, long time. The Bombers are 12-1. They're locking things down in the playoff picture. Nothing solidified today as far as what they were able to do last week with a win in the Labor Day Classic and locking down at least a crossover spot. but they've got Saskatchewan coming again to Winnipeg. That game is not sold out. So on Friday, September 30th, 7 o'clock, like September 30th, throw on a hoodie, head down to the ballpark. You're going to see a great football game because Saskatchewan is fighting tooth and nail to stay relevant and to stay in crossover position. The East is a little bit of a crap show this year and a crap shoot for sure. So the Saskatchewan Roughriders still have a ton to play for, and I'm sure they're going to be looking for a little bit of redemption after an absolute slobber knocking at the hands of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers today. Yeah, like love the chat. Everybody chiming in. Donnie Boy, good to see you. Yeah, Dalton Roadhouse Shone. He really is something to watch. I love that nickname from the old Patrick Swayze movie Roadhouse, where Dalton, one of the main characters. Tao Zen chimes in. Yeah, Sask will get crushed again. We'll see. You never know. Winnipeg is in such control right now in the CFL West and really in the CFL overall. It's you really got to wonder what the final stretch of the season will leave for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. No doubt they want to get healthy. They want to be playing their best football when it matters, and that's into late October and into November and the postseason. I won't say that the West final is a lock, but it's about as close as you could get right now. The BC Lions looked beyond mediocre, like sub-mediocre last night in Montreal. They lost 31-10. Antonio Pipkin, 54% passing, 13-24, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Vernon Adams, 1 of 3 passing for 17 yards. They really didn't run the football too much. James Butler, 6 carries for 27 yards. And they just weren't able to keep up. The Montreal Alouettes were just the better football team. And I still believe Montreal could be the team that will push Toronto in the East Division. If there is a crossover, it's tough winning on the road. I know the Blue Bombers did it in 2019, going through the West, on the road in Saskatchewan, on the road in Calgary, and then on the road in the Grey Cup in Calgary. But for whether it's the Rough Riders or the BC Lions or however that shakes out for the wild card and the crossover from the West to the East, you would presume it would be that way. It's not going to be an easy road for whoever is able to capture that. Keep the questions and the comments coming. Love seeing everybody join in here. Good to hear, Waiters, you didn't shred your voice yelling, but man, oh man, was that a loud stadium tonight. How awesome to see the Bombers fans come out in full force in a sellout crowd. I didn't see a ton of green in the stands. I saw green. I saw pockets. I saw peppering, but I didn't see a ton of green, which bodes very well for how many Bomber fans wanted to get out there. It's been sold out for weeks. And Bomber fans know how big this game was, know how big these rivalries are. Records irrelevant. But Winnipeg, a 2-point win on Labor Day in Regina. 6 days later, a dominant 34-point victory. 54-20. Winnipeg, absolutely, yeah, people in the live chat like it. A slobber knocking by the Blue Bombers, knocking the teeth out of the mouth of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It was just kind of dominance all up and down the field. I'll see if I can pull in some live stats here, and forgive me, I'll just pull in my stats. Here we go. We will clean this up here. This is a good question, actually. I'll bring from my friend Winnipeg Gordo. Good to see you, Gordo. Thanks for popping into Game Day After Dark. Who complains more, Cody or Coach D? I mean, when things aren't going well, everybody is going to complain in one way or another. It's very difficult to keep the chin up. But who's more on the hot seat right now? Like, tell me that Craig Dickinson isn't on a hot seat just as much as, say, Paul LaPolice is in Ottawa. the Red Blacks unable to get it done in the final 2 minutes. They gambled on third down, had to third down territory, 3-down territory. The Ottawa Red Blacks were just prior to kickoff here in Winnipeg. They fall by 5, 24-19. The Toronto Argonauts able to come away with a victory there. Let's take a look at these stats, because a couple things do jump out. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the drive chart, and let's see if I can enlarge it a little bit here for the viewers. Here's the Blue Bombers drive chart. Like, this is what they did all day. First half, 4 touchdowns, 4 possessions, 4 times they scored touchdowns. 10 plays, 73 yards, 13 plays, 82 yards, a quick 6-play, 38-yard touchdown, 4 plays, 70 yards, and then into the second half. Field goal, touchdown, and finally, Mark Leggio comes out, and his only punt of the afternoon in the fourth quarter, Drew Brown, caps the game with Winnipeg's 7th touchdown of the day to put up the 50-burger on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Bombers fans, revel in this one. You've got bragging rights for a couple weeks until the Roughriders come back to Winnipeg on Friday, September 30th at IG Field. I'm sure it feels really, really good to win by 34 points and to score on pretty much every single possession of the football game. Well done, once again, I will say, to Buck Pierce. Saskatchewan, meanwhile, they had to punt. They had a turnover on downs, a couple field goals into the second half, more punts, a fumble lost. That was a great strip sack by Willie Jefferson, recovered by Jackson Jeffcoat. One of those positions that Saskatchewan was depleted on today because of that stomach bug or food poisoning or flu or whatever it was the offensive line. Josiah St. John, say what you want. He is a starter. Say what you want about the young man. But they had to put in their 6th offensive lineman at left guard. St. John moving from right tackle to left guard as Saskatchewan kind of gets a little bit desperate, trying to figure out offensive protection right now. And then an interception and a turnover on downs, their final 2 possessions of the football game. Of course, knees to end it, which always tells you how the game went when the team trailing by 34 is taking knees at the end of the game. Zach Schnitzer, well, I guess he's trying to put his boy down for the night, but not stopping him from joining the live chat here on Game Day After Dark. Sarah, yes, big hat tip and all the best to TSN's Sarah Orlesky, or I guess formerly of TSN, Sarah Orlesky, called her final game tonight on the CFL on TSN. So great she was able to do it at home in her hometown here of Winnipeg. Sarah and I both grew up in the west end of this town, or about the same age. Somebody I still look up to in this business, just a consummate pro. We know how good of a broadcaster she is, but what many people don't know is just how good of a person she is. So genuine, so real, so kind and reassuring, especially when you're working with her or, alongside her. Wishing her all the best and glad she's sticking here in Winnipeg. Maybe a little bit of easier workflow for her as far as time with family, especially in the summer. Now, of course, working with the Winnipeg Jets. Jeff Kabila is saying, Jeff Hamilton it is then, I guess. Oh, there it is. I pulled up the wrong one today. Yes, Lynn Reimer, I agree with you. Sarah maybe gets the Happy Honker Award. We'll see when Zach jumps in here on Game Day After Dark. I guess Jeff Hamilton it is then. Well, Jeff's inside the room and he's writing for the Winnipeg Free Press. But big shout out to the Hammer, as well as Ted Wyman of the Winnipeg Sun, who joined me on a road podcast to and from the Labor Day Classic. They were awesome podcasts to do, super fun on the road with those guys. If you haven't had a chance to do it, go check them out on our YouTube channel. Let's see here. It truly is after dark. I'm going to see if I can brighten things up a little bit. How's that? Folks? We look a little better? Okay. Good to see everybody in the live chat, and like awesome turnout to just listen to me. Like, where the heck is Zach Schnitzer? Yeah, there you go. Zach's still jumping in here. He's um, on his way, I do believe. Bomber fan asking, did TSN hire a new Winnipeg-based reporter or just not going to? Good question. No word on that. I have heard a little scuttlebutt, a little birdie whispering in my ear saying that TSN will announce their new Jets play-by-play voice on TV, their new TSN Jets or Jets on TSN play-by-play voice in the coming days. So keep it locked for that. Very much looking forward to seeing who will take over for the legendary Dennis Bayak. And it was great to hear Dennis in some of those World Junior games and international games this summer. So, not completely retired is Dennis, but wishing him the best in this next chapter. Hell of a game. Yeah. Mark Legace, great to see you, man. Old college buddy of mine, working with him with the Manitoba Bisons and so many others. See, Zach, you don't even have to be on the show to get your chime in. Buck Pierce for mayor. Well, he might have to give a couple of these candidates, he might give them a run for their money. Itchy Scratchy says, please be Kirk Keelback. I don't know if it's going to be Kirk Keelback. He's been writing about his time as play-by-play voice of Jets 1.0 and the Coyotes and the rest. I don't know if it's going to be Kirk Keelback. Attractive Cousins. Yeah, have you guys seen that YouTube video? Search Attractive Cousins Banjo Bowl on YouTube. My old college buddy Jeremy Williams, as well as Jeff Bromley, Brahms of the Filthy Animals of years gone by, great lyricist, born and raised here in Winnipeg. They've got a great song about the Banjo Bowl that is 10 years old this week. They wrote it 10 years ago and put it up on YouTube. Great song, great one to celebrate too, if you're a Bomber fan tonight, following just an absolutely huge win. A couple other people chiming in with questions here. Fritchie asking, if Nick Taylor is out for weeks, where do the Bombers turn? Well, who did they have today? Right? Hang on. Let me pull up the depth chart here. The Blue Bombers, with need at defensive back, they're going to look to their rookie. That's JT Hassel, who just signed this week, but a first-year player out of Florida Tech. Amazing story. He is born with a birth defect in his hand, just kind of has two fingers or parts of two fingers on his hand. Judy Owen, as well as the Sun and the Free Press, all wrote great stories on JT Hassel, the Blue Bombers' new defensive back. But if Noah Hallett is banged up, if Nick Taylor is banged up, the Blue Bombers are going to have to look towards, Tyrell Ford and Evan Holm. Ford, of course, the Canadian and CFL draft pick from 2022. Evan Holm, a American from the University of North Dakota. And then, this is the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in the Canadian Football League. I really wonder if Brandon Alexander, no longer on the 6-game, now on the 1-game injured list, if he could be close to a return. Did see Carlton Agadosi on the Blue Bombers sidelines today. Unfortunately, spotted him in a walking boot. So that tells you where he would probably be in a recovery or timeline to return. Not too often. Waiters mentioning that Leggio punted once and it was like 3 minutes left. Yeah, you're right. The Bombers absolutely dominated time of possession, and every time they touched the football, they pretty much put a score on the board. Buck Pierce for mayor. Bob Man P says Buck Pierce for school board. Yeah, I think he could teach a lot of people in this city how to get it done. It'll be, I think Buck Pierce is really the MVP of the Canadian Football League right now. It's been amazing to watch the evolution of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense. Early in the year, Everybody was wondering, is there a problem with the offensive line? Is there an issue with Brady Oliveira in the run game? Do they need to give more touches to Johnny Augustine? Well, here we are in week 14. Labor Day and the Banjo Bowl is when they always say the real season starts. And now, suddenly, the Blue Bombers offense is an absolute juggernaut. Well, I see a guy with a chain around his neck and looking like he's champing at the bit to get on the program here. Zach, are you locked in and ready to go? What's going on, man? Welcome inside the show. Everybody happy to see you, I am sure.
Sorry I'm late, folks. I got home and my wife was supposed to have my son all ready for bed, and they had guests over having a freaking dance party,
Oh,
and the guy was wired. So, but we were wired, and look at this beauty.
you had
Now,
to, eh?
I
That's the
had to,
hottest seller.
Darrin.
That is the hottest
Everyone
seller.
had one.
Yeah.
When I saw it was $40, I was just like, I can't not buy this.
Well, I
Like,
got another treat for you, Zach. I've been waiting for you to come for this exact thing. We got a special overlay for the Banjo Bowl edition of
oh
Game
yeah.
Day After Dark. We can how do you do here?
Look at that. Oh, there we go.
What a
That's a
football game,
beauty.
Zach. Absolute dominance from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense. Great pressure from the defense. We've been talking a lot about the offense so far on the post game here as we waited with bated breath for you to join us.
Of course.
Let's get your non-sober first thought. We'll get your sober second thoughts on Wednesday night, our new night for Bonfire midweek here on the channel. But your thoughts as you strolled out of the stadium tonight?
Oh, like just an absolutely huge high, Darrin. I mean, the best part was I had my daughter there for the second year in a row, and she brought her friend Eli and Eli's dad, and we bought the kids a whole bunch of stuff, and they played all the games of the pregame. We got to meet Gold member. Oh man, it was great. We got to meet all sorts of fans. I met Casey Jones. He's an older gentleman. He's on the chat here.
Well, that's
And
like
I
a
said,
Ninja Turtles reference,
well,
isn't it? Casey Jones?
exactly right. I said, hey, from Ninja Turtles. And then I think he was with his kids or something. And they just started howling. And he had no idea what I was talking about. So,
Oh, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. He was probably playing possum with you.
maybe. I don't know. But, I just, what a great game by the Bombers. I mean, the first time they've eclipsed 50 points at IG Field, Darrin.
Is that right?
Yes, Gregory said that, and I was thinking that too as I left. I don't remember us ever getting 50 points at IG Field ever. A lot of other teams have scored 50 points on us in the dog days, in 2013, 14, 15. But yeah, just absolute domination. I mean, Mario Alford maybe made it closer than it seemed.
I thought we had a ball game at that point.
Yeah, you tweet. Yeah, for sure. And the Riders did look fairly sharp, at the beginning, but it was just like it just seems to be the pattern of the last few Banjo Bowls, Darrin, is they just seem to move the ball at ease, and this was an offensive masterpiece by Buck Pierce. I was in the chat earlier as my son was falling asleep, and I went on the stats, Darrin. Have you ever seen a team? Yes,
Love that.
right. Have you ever seen a team be 80% on second down? That is a work of art, Darrin.
Mm-hmm.
Like Buck Pierce, and you think about, Drew Wolotarski goes down early, and that looks real bad, which breaks my heart. I know it breaks Sandy's heart. I mean, this is a heart and soul guy. We talked about him last night at that party, right? Like he's a guy where your possession Zed receiver is Drew Wolotarski, right? Like you're in good hands. But then Brandon O'Leary-Orange comes in, gets him the touchdown. I texted you, right? It's Bolo time.
Right.
But, like just with all the injuries we've had, and then Stanley Bryan even goes out for a second there. But man, like what player on offense didn't get a touch tonight, right? Like it
Yeah.
was absolutely insane, and so nice to see Rasheed Bailey get the sexy stats. But if you watch closely, and those of us who really like rewatch the games, right? Rasheed Bailey it's not that he's disappeared, it's just that he's used in different ways.
Mhm.
These guys, the culture of this team, and I was talking to Kyle Walters about this last night, not because he's my personal friend and I'm dropping a name. He was at our party at Finn's and I bought him a beer and I said, the thing about these guys is everybody's on the same page. He said, there's no a-holes in my locker room. Kyle said, it's hard enough to win a football game without a-holes in your locker room. And what he was talking about, the FIFO thing, is that everybody does what they have to do to win. It doesn't matter if they're not getting receiving yards. Rasheed Bailey has been blocking like a fiend. He makes tough second down catches. And tonight,
Mhm.
he got the opportunity to make something happen, and he did with that amazing arm extended touchdown, which kind of blew
Awesome.
the game wide open.
Awesome play. And, like, how delayed
Unbelievable.
it was too, because even the
Yeah.
officials weren't sure, and then,
Yeah.
like, I loved how when Rasheed Bailey did that, he stood up, he didn't even look back. He didn't even look back at the official. He knew he
He knew
clipped
he had it, right?
the pylon and just, stood forward and kinda did his flex, and, that was a special moment, and you're right, probably, one of those, points in the game, where things really turned in the Blue Bombers' favor. On that note, you did join us a little bit late, Zach, so we gotta get
Yeah.
right into it.
Yeah, let's
Let's
go.
get through our Walby's Warrior, our Westwood Wide to the right, our Happy Honker, our Bonfire Burning Point. Special tonight for TSN's Sarah Orlesky, the TSN
Yes.
Burning Point. We'll do the Bonfire Burning Point, as well as our game balls and the rest. Everybody chime in. Let's start where we always start, and that is for the greatest who's ever done it, 63. Walby's Warrior, your nomination tonight.
I'm laughing because Walby and Willard Reeves were standing on the south end zone, like that overlook, and I went up to him, and I don't know how many pops in, but he had no idea who I was. And I was like, "Hey, I work with Darrin. I'm on your team, sort of, but you're way awesomer than me." He's like, "Yeah, okay, okay, buddy." And then he just like turned me aside. There's so many people lining up to see Walby, so
Yeah.
it was so
No,
funny.
he gets
He's
mauled.
Oh, he was awesome though. Willard he signed my jersey right beside I don't know if you can see it, Shane Gauthier, who I thought had a great game today, by the way. I think it has to be Rasheed Baylor. He's not going to get my game ball because I'll explain that later. But I think Rasheed Baylor is the Walby's Warrior. He's a guy. It's nice, as I said, Darrin. It's nice to see a guy who's super intense all the time and always does the right things. And people were questioning him because,
Right.
where's his stats, right? Well, when you have Dalton Shone, Nick Demski, Greg Ellingson, like not everybody can get a big piece of the pie, right? Bailey got his chance today, and I thought he was a warrior. He stepped up when his number was called. Yeah, like Jeff Gabilis is saying, that pose was awesome. I think that the crowd went absolutely bonkers because he's a fan favorite, right? The
Oh, yeah.
passion he has, he's like a preacher, right? And I'm Jewish, and we don't have preachers, but I love him. I'd go to church to listen to Rasheed Bailey. So I thought he was an absolute warrior today, and he's been a warrior all year, but he just happened to get the icing on the cake today.
Uh, Waiter saying Rasheed is the most intense player on the team. No question
Hmm.
about that. He is pure fire all the time in his belly.
Yeah.
His post-game interview on the
Oh yeah.
broadcast,
Oh yeah.
literally, they're like, "Thanks, Rasheed. Appreciate you joining us." He goes, "Thanks, guys. Love you. Love you guys," is what he said.
Of
I'm
course
like,
he
man,
does.
that's aw he is the most emotionally, energized person you could imagine, and, when he's feeling good, like the game he had today, the numbers absolutely speak for themselves. 5 catches on 5 targets, 83 yards, a touchdown, 2 second yard second down conversions.
Yeah.
The Superman sprawl for the touchdown, a
Yeah.
great run with a ton of yak yards on that play. To say love you guys at the end of an
That was
interview
awesome. That's awesome. I got to listen to that.
is pretty good. Everybody joining us in the live chat, appreciate it. How about this? Here's a new person, Ashton Gunning. Haven't
Hey,
seen you in the live chat
Ashton.
before. What's going on, Ashton? Great to have you with us.
Yeah.
Jogging doggies. There you go. Making a little extra scratch, taking dogs for walks. Bailey has a lot of passion. Yeah, no
He
doubt
does. Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, he
Comet, good to
does.
see you back in the live chat tonight. Comment mentioning the refs in the command center were on spot today. Credit to Andre
Yes.
Prue and the team when due. There were critical penalties. Like so often we'll say penalties told the story of the game. You could have said that tonight, but not for how we often say penalties tell the story of the game. I felt penalties told the story of the game because of when they came and how impactful they were to the game. The pass interference calls, the holding on the Saskatchewan offensive line, the challenge Mike O'Shea had for offensive pass interference. The pass interference, obviously, from Derek Moncrief on Nick Demski on a very similar looking play, different route than his 50-yard touchdown a week ago, but very similar. And Demski even mentioning after the game, saying, I guess he didn't want to get caught on him again. Demski did also say, he wished he put a foot in the ground and leapt up and grabbed the ball. But it was really one of those games where you take a couple of those penalties out, and I'm not saying, Saskatchewan would have been in it, but it could have been a very different looking game.
Could have been closer, right? But even my cousin who's he's from the States and he watches, he comes up to Canada. He has a beautiful cottage in Westlock. This is halftime. We're walking to the bathroom, which was an interminable walk. I mean, for sure Walby did. Walby got to meet me. One of you said that was awesome.
Right.
He just said Saskatchewan just takes penalties at the worst time. And I was just shouting onto the field hey, Saskatchewan, remember penalties are actually a bad thing. Every play they're taking something. I'm looking at the stats here, Darrin. 141 yards of penalties, even worse than last week.
Yes, 14 penalties for 141 yards for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Bombers 5 for 59.
Yeah, I mean that's more than you want from the Bombers for sure. One is big on Dietrich Nichols, your boy. He finally has something in the negative column.
It wasn't a face mask. He kind of grabbed under the chin. So that's gonna happen. I don't think that was a
no. I know.
Penalty,
I'm just kidding with you, right? But
don't you dare talk bad about.
I know he's your boy. He's your boy. I would never the tarpaulin. Listen,
I'm with you. I'm with you, Transcona Poly, by the way. Drew Brown will be a starter in the Canadian Football League. Mark my
even his deep pass that was defended really well by a Saskatchewan DB. It was a deep corner. I'm not sure who it was to. I couldn't see, but it was a beautiful pass. Brown is a good player. But yeah, they just take so many penalties, Darrin. I know they came in apparently with food poisoning. I don't think they know this, but you actually shouldn't eat gopher, especially the wild gopher. But yeah, it's not a dish I would recommend. But anyway,
they say monkeypox is passed by, or was kind of a, what is it, zootropic?
I don't know.
Whatever it is. Pardon me, far from an expert, but that's how it was transmitted originally to humans, was through. I think it was prairie dogs, actually. I'm not even kidding.
Is that? Oh, look at that, right? Prairie dogs. But we were the prairie dogs tonight, and Bailey had the biggest bite. Who was your warrior?
Okay, so I'm going to name my warrior with anticipation of who I'm going to give my game ball to. Okay, so my warrior tonight was Zach Collaros. He was on the money all night long. 21 to 25 passing. What did he have? Almost 200 yards through the air, almost 300
Almost
yards,
300.
273, was a clean sheet for him too. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, an immaculate 158.3 quarterback efficiency rating. That is a perfect score.
Yeah.
And just the passes he missed were really, really good passes. You know, he wasn't off the mark at all today. And to face the same team 2 weeks in a row and play as crisp and sharp as Zach Collaros did, he clearly put in the work this past week to ensure he was doing what he needed to do in the entire offense, really, right? Helps when Brady Oliveira averages 5.5 yards per carry. He also had 2 catches for 19 yards today, 1 for 10 and 1 for 9. And then Dakota Prukop. You could almost give him a Walby's Warrior because when he steps into the game, he makes things happen. Nearly completed a pass when they kept him in on first down. Love that dynamic that he brings. I put out a Twitter poll earlier tonight. I'm going to try to find it. I asked people what Dakota Prukop is. Is he Streveler light? Is he diet Streveler? Or is he headed North Dakota? Like Dakota Prukop, of course, you know, like, is he only headed north, like North Dakota? Straight north. That's what I called him. Maybe I was fighting for that one right now. So as of right now, 34% like him being called straight North Dakota. 24% like Streveler light. And I'm with the 41% out of about 100 votes right now on my Twitter page saying diet Streveler is Dakota Prukop. Head over to my Twitter right now at Darrin Bauming, and you will be able to vote on that. What's your call? Do you like what nickname do you like for Dakota Prukop?
Oh no, I tried a really bad joke earlier on, and it was he ran North Dakota, he ran South Dakota, and nobody got it. I think I just didn't deliver it well, but I've always called him North Dakota. Yeah. I thought his play, Darrin, so he comes in at 2nd and 4. I think it was one of the first drives of the game in the first quarter. And I look over at Steve. Steve's on here, Steve Berea, and our buddies Logan and David, and who sit behind me and beside me. And I say to them, like, did you notice Prukop is in on 2nd and 4? They're like, yeah, interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, like, he fooled the heck out of me. I thought he'd pass. I thought he'd handed it off to Brady Oliveira. And sure enough, he's what a great play call. Like Buck Pierce. But I think Prukop may have a better arm than Streveler relative to when Streveler was here. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him pass enough.
Accuracy.
He's more like runs more like a gazelle, and Streveler ran more like a bison,
like a rhino,
or a rhino. You know, so I haven't seen enough of Prukop. If Streveler is a power back, then this guy's more of a scat back, but he's big too. So I don't know. I don't think we've seen the ceiling of Prukop. I think he's a really interesting player that I want to see. You know, I want to see what happens with him as he develops, Darrin.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think he's the Bombers quarterback stable as it stands today, the strongest it has been in a generation.
Absolutely.
Maybe longer. Even like you look at the Matt Nichols, Zach Collaros, Chris Streveler, like Nichols was hurt, right? So he wasn't even dressing. It was Sean McGuire and Drew Brown kind of hanging out. But the way Drew Brown can come in and play clean football and you know, throw touchdowns and the rest, and what Dakota Prukop brings is that you know, change of pace, smack you in the mouth, short yardage, but can also go over the top and make things happen. And then, for my money, as it stands today, the best quarterback in the CFL in Zach Collaros.
That's absolutely
really something.
He was so sharp, Darrin. 84%, I believe. Or 80, you know, just like,
that's right. Yeah, 21 to 25, 84%.
Unbelievable.
That's the kind of math I can do. 21 to 25, 84%. I can do that math.
I looked it up earlier, buddy.
Pardon me?
I looked it up earlier. It's not that it came out of my ass.
People asking for an update as the Winnipeg Goldeyes are in the playoffs, facing the
Oh,
Fargo Moorhead Redhawks. That series, it's a best of 3 series tied 1 apiece. Well, they're in the bottom of the 6th at Newman Outdoor Field in Fargo, and it's a 3-3 ball game. Really tough to see the Goldeyes lose their MVP, league MVP this year, Max.
Scherzer?
No, not Max Scherzer. Is that your guy?
No, I could give 2 craps about baseball. Sorry, guys. Sorry, baseball fans.
I'm just saying the Goldeyes are worth giving a crap about.
Oh, yeah,
They're a
Gold
great
Eyes for sure.
organization.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, no, I'm just talking about MLB. I mean,
Okay.
how can
Well,
you get
hey,
into a
whatever,
sport
whatever
where
you
there's
say, negative Nelly.
162 games, no game matters, right? Like, oh my
Whatever
God.
you say, negative Nelly.
Okay, we're getting off track here. We're getting off track. So we've done our Walby's Warrior.
Let's do our Westwood wide to the right, and it's you crapping on baseball. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's me, and Greg's gonna give it to me, But my
Mhm.
Westwood wide to the right, there's 2. One is obvious, and that's the penalties. I mean, you people who think that cutting Garrett Marino was gonna change anything in that locker room, give me a freaking break. That was CFL, man. I'm like, I could almost guarantee you there was a phone call, right? There was a phone call from the league office, and you could argue whether that was appropriate or not, and what kind of precedent that sets, right? But it happened. I actually regard, just as a quick digression, I have a good friend, one of my favorite people who's a big fan of the show, Caitlin, and she was gonna come with me to the game, but we couldn't make it work. I got her a jersey, number 9. She's a speech pathologist, and she's like one of the smartest people, or probably the smartest person I know. And gave me a really interesting take on Marino. Like you talked about, Darrin, that the media isn't really talking to him because he can't really articulate himself. She said a lot of people who have speech problems and cognitive problems, they become very like sociopathic because they encounter all these problems. And I just thought, on the one hand, I just hate what this guy has done. Like, I think I forget who I was listening to. They didn't like the fact that Marino is not going to be signed in the CFL again because they're taking away his livelihood, right? But then I'm thinking he took away Jeremiah Masoli's livelihood, so it's well deserved. But I just hope this guy gets the help he needs, because I think there's something else going on there. Anyway, that's a good digression, but not a good digression. I don't know. Whatever. I'll take a shot. The other, so it's the penalties, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
that's the culture, right? You don't take selfish penalties. The Bombers are all about winning and loving who's next to them and playing who's next to them and respecting the coach. And you think that there's sometimes they want to take selfish penalties, of course, but they don't. And if they do, like if Rutledge is offside and loses us the game against Montreal, he's on point the next day, right? So there's no wide to the right for the Bombers. And then the other one is kind of a funny one. And Eric Hjorlifson, I hope I'm saying your name right, Eric. He
Good
had a
go.
good one. One of the refs threw a pick on Willie Jefferson. Did you see that, Darrin? That the ref didn't get out of
I think
the
it was
way,
Jackson Jeffcoat. Yeah, on
or was
Jackson
it
Jeffcoat.
Jeff?
Yeah.
And that was right after I think it was Logan or David had said, no, like Andre Prue, like we like Andre Prue, but his crew is the worst in the league. And I never thought of it that way, because Prue gets a bad rep, Darrin, because he's francophone and sometimes he stumbles over his words, but this is his second language. This guy is always the Grey Cup ref, or often, right? He's a very good ref, but
He's the most accomplished official
yeah.
in the CFL.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just thought the ref throwing a block on a guy like Jeffcoat was pretty funny, and luckily it didn't have any impact on the game. But that was another wide to the right. I'm glad to say my wide to the right wasn't people doing the wave or being noisy on offense. Nobody did the wave till it was well in hand. So there you go. What about you, buddy?
So I don't think Jackson Jeffcoat would have caught Cody Fajardo there. I'm just saying. I get.
All right. This was just all jokes. Come on.
Okay. Max Murphy. Thank you, everybody out there. Who's
Max Murphy?
Winnipeg Goldeyes MVP who got
Oh, okay.
injured it was pretty nasty in game 1 of that playoff series, but just a phenomenal player, and unfortunate the Goldeyes had to go without him. But we'll keep an eye on that Goldeyes game for everybody
There's
out there.
Casey Jones.
Oh, we got Casey Jones in the
I know
house.
you have a goalie mask in your closet. We know your story, Casey
Ears
Jones.
are burning. Casey Jones, we were just talking about you and the
I
Ninja
know.
Turtles.
Sorry, that was Steve. Steve was saying this crew is awful, and then he threw.
Do I have a
pick.
wide to the right? I mean, I'll change the nature of the award a little bit for tonight. I hate to see a team get decimated by a bug or bad shellfish or whatever. But I hated to see a half dozen riders unable to play in the game.
Yeah, that
not
was
about, competitive advantage or, I don't like the green guys or anything. I want everybody who's able to play on the field able to play, and they weren't able to do that tonight. Was it the deciding factor? No, I don't think so. Keenan Schaefer-Baker wasn't in the lineup tonight. Josiah St. John on the offensive line. They did okay. I think Winnipeg just played extremely well tonight.
Yeah,
and
it was just sharp, right?
But that's my wide to the right. Just whatever was cooking in the Riders locker room.
Well, and I think the players would echo that, Darrin, right? Like that's a fair point. They want to play the best version of the opponent that they have. Absolutely. Do I think it would have made a difference in this game? I just think, like you just said, I think the Bombers were they were executing at such a high level, man, that I don't think anything would have beat them tonight. They were just so on point. They were so sharp. Did Marino cook them a farewell meal, Scott Roger? Rifle up, buddy. What was I gonna say? I was sidetracked by that hilarious comment. I don't even know, man. They were just so sharp, Darrin, and it's just the Bombers. They were 7.5 favorites. Came down to 7 on SIA.com/bonfire. By the way, get in there. And I didn't bite on it. I thought it would be a close game. The way
I thought it would
went.
be a close game until I saw how many riders were out, and then I'm like,
yeah.
The crowd is going to be a factor.
Yeah.
The offensive line is already beat up and they're losing another guy. I'm just like, I think something like that can affect a team between the ears. Like, oh, we got to go into Winnipeg and they're the best team in the league and the crowd is going to be bonkers and our offense isn't playing very well. And now we're missing some guys and like it can get into the psyche, especially on an undisciplined team like Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah.
So, I went to SIA.com/bonfire and I took advantage and did just fine. Thank you very much. Head on over there right now. You can get a nice bonus when you sign up through this link, SIA.com/bonfire, 100% up to $500. You can get there.
Hi, Richard, by the way. Hi, Richard. Nice to meet you today.
Do need to mention this. The Winnipeg Rifles play tomorrow at 11 a.m. So ride your high right now, Bombers fans. Head on down to Eastside Eagles Field, 723 London Street, right next to Kildonan East Collegiate. It's a special time. Normally they kick off at 1 p.m. Tomorrow, they kick off at 11 a.m. with the number 7 nationally ranked Calgary Colts in town. The Winnipeg Rifles have a quarterback that reminds me of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. He is a big, strong-armed passing quarterback that can tuck the ball and put his shoulder into a linebacker. You want to see this kid play. His name is Bryson McNeil. He wears number 9. I think he's second in the country right now in passing behind Carter Shuchuk of the Regina Thunder. The Prairie Football Conference is the dominant conference in Canadian junior football today. Much better than Ontario. I think they're better, and a lot of people would argue with me, but I think year over year it shows in who comes away with the championship. I think the Prairie Conference is stronger than BC. You want to see these guys play. They are the Canadian Football League players of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Head on down to Eastside Eagles Field. Tickets are $15. Seniors, $10. Bring the kids. Everybody under 18 enters free. If you can't make it down to the game, I heard Chris Walby might be coming to the game. Pat Newfield was at the game a couple
Ooh.
weeks ago in Winnipeg when the Rifles knocked off the number 2 nationally ranked Saskatoon Hilltops with a dramatic win in the fourth quarter. Bryson McNeil leads the team down the field, game-winning field goal with 36 seconds remaining. And then the defense gets a stop when they were trying to tie it. If you can't head down to the game and hang out with me and Chris Walby and other Bomber players that are there often, go to cjfltv.com. You can watch the live broadcast from your phone, from your computer, on your smart TV, wherever you may be. But you definitely want to get down there and watch some great football with the Winnipeg Rifles junior program. So we've gone through I guess we got to get to our Happy Honker, right, Zach?
Yeah, then our Bonfire, Burning Point, game
Yep,
balls.
let's
Yeah,
do it.
you wanna do Happy Honker? You start this time, brother.
Oh, I'm giving it to Sarah Orlesky. No
Yeah.
question. She deserves it. She deserves so much more than that. But in the in the oh gosh, why is the word escaping me? In the spirit of the Happy Honker Award, I think it's well deserved for Sarah. She is just awesome. We've gone on and on about Sarah Orlesky and how great she is on camera, on TSN, and then off camera, and the type of person she
Yeah.
is. Great to see her get the recognition she deserves. Very classy move by Wade Miller and the Blue Bombers organization, getting her a jersey and an autographed helmet. And then Zach Kalaris gave her the game ball after the game, doing this
Nice.
game interview, which was
Nice.
really
That's
cool.
awesome.
So, yeah, Happy Honker, Sarah Orlesky, no question.
So, I mean, I of course give her mine, but I'm just gonna give mine to you, someone else, just to mix it up, and it's gonna be Carol Barrett. I call her
Mm.
some people call her the Bomber Mom. I think it's a bit gendered, but I call her the Bomber. She's my fairy godmother. She's made things happen for me as a fan. And it's her birthday today, so I just want to wish
Oh, happy
Carol a
birthday,
happy
Carol.
birthday. I love Carol. She's
She
the
is a
heart and
sweetheart.
soul of this team. If it wasn't for her, like her hands are at the wheel, right? So Carol is just awesome, and as she works so well with Wade Miller, and she was there last night at our Finn McCool's pre-banjo party,
I missed her
Banjo
there.
Bowl party. Yeah, I think she had to run, and she's just a gem. So I'm gonna give her my Happy Honker. And if I could give another Happy Honker, I'll just go honk honk. I just think the fans at IG Field are so respectful, and I brought my daughter, and she's only 7. She brought her friend who's 7, and they're respectful to kids, right? Like, I saw them giving my daughter high fives when she didn't know what was going on, and, like, people were just smiling at her. And Sandy, if you're on here today, Sandy made her a beautiful craft, a diamond studded unicorn, Darrin, to put on her backpack. And
Nice.
I just love the fans, that they're so aware of little ones, and making sure they have a great time. And I know our friends Reaper and Vixen sort of lead that charge. And by the
Yeah,
way, thank you to them and our friend
great
Trev
job.
Dirty Bird for last night putting all the work in. If you didn't make it, come next year if you can to the pregame Banjo Bowl party on the night before on the Friday. We just had a blast. So, and there were some pretty good prizes given away.
Mhm.
Someone got to have a special. No, I was going to make a really really disgusting joke about me giving out something inappropriate. Anyway, yes, those are our Happy Honkers. So Bonfire, Burning Point. Uh, I
That's a tough
think
one.
I.
That is a tough
So
one tonight.
I'm honestly, because I'm a super fan, and I'm obsessed, and I'm superstitious. I'll tell you one thing. I went to the store when I bought this beautiful chain today, which I couldn't resist. We bought my daughter's friend a hat and a
That's
couple
nice.
other things, and I got my daughter a scrunchie set. Because
A
Of course, she
set.
needs a bomber's scrunchie set, and she put the pink one on for the game, and she had it on upside down, Darrin. We were up 13-0, and then I noticed she had it on upside down, and that's when the Riders they drove down for that touchdown to make it, I believe, 13-7. So to make it actually a game, right?
Mhm.
And I said, "Sweetie, you got to put that on right side up. I don't like this." And I know it had an impact on the game, so I don't know how to put on a scrunchie. So it took me about 5 minutes, but I finally got the scrunchie on, and from then on, it was over, buddy. It was over. We scored on every freaking possession. I think save
So
one, we punted. That's my burning point is like, I don't know, the first drive when they just sliced through Saskatchewan. My God, like I don't know if there was a burning point, but I just like the kickoff. Like they
so
just
Zach,
had him on the mat, buddy.
I got to get into this with you, man.
Do
Like,
it.
exactly how superstitious are you during the game? Like, that's some weird stuff, man. Like, I was a goalie growing up. Okay. When I wasn't playing football, I was playing hockey and some other sports. I was superstitious in how I put my equipment on and tap in the post and that sort of thing. But you're a fan in the stands and you've got all of these like superstitions and traditions and habits that you do. Like, what's
Oh
going
yeah.
on, man?
Well, I think a lot of us fans have it. I was talking to a
No,
guy
no, no, no,
last
no,
night
no.
no,
Don't
they
no, no, no.
do. They do. I was talking to a guy last night at Finn McCool's, right? He said, I didn't counseling helps, says Andrea Kohach. I love that. It does help. Counseling helps. I'm a counselor. Hold on, my charger fell apart again here. Hold on.
Oh, is that a superstition too?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
man, Zach,
I used
there,
to be
oh, we
way
lost you.
worse. It's like uh on game day, um I used to be worse, but I get so nervous and it's like there'll be like a piece of fluff on the ground. I'll be like, I have to pick that piece of fluff up or the Bombers are gonna lose. It's just like weird stuff
That's
like
a little OCD.
it's a little OC. It's gotten better because I've had kids and I just don't even have the mental space to pay attention to that stuff. But there's still times where you know like if I used to tape the games, I'd PVR them, and then if I said a word wrong in a book I was reading to my daughter, I'd have to repeat it and get it right. So it's just like because it's that OCD thing where you have no control and you can't tolerate uncertainty, so you have this false sense of control by having these weird rituals, right? The best one ever was the 2016 Western semifinal, and Jonathan Jennings was marching on us. We'd been up about, I think, 26. What was it? We were up huge on BC in that game with Matt Nichols. He had that big monster game. Ryan Smith had a touchdown, and who else? Like Dressler had a great game, and they were marching on us, and I just had this feeling that the defense was going to lose. Sorry, waiters. And I did the sign of the cross, and I'm Jewish, and my dad's parents are like Holocaust survivors. It
Oh,
took
man.
everything in him not to cuff me on the back of the head. 24/6 waiters, that's right. And yeah, it's gotten better over the years. It's gotten better over the years.
Boy,
But
oh boy.
I'm sure there's people out there like me. Come on, someone on the chat. Come on.
Yeah, no, people have been chiming in on the live chat about their superstitions. I'm kind of like Jeff Cabilla's. You went all left first when you put your equipment on. I always went all right first
Uh-huh. You
when I
see?
put my equipment on. Yeah, yeah. No, I had some superstitions, but like if you're a fan in the stands or you're like just watching on, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like those people that say like, like, oh, I can't watch because when I watch, they start losing. And then if I don't watch, they're gonna win. And come on.
No, it makes no logical sense, but when your anxiety is high, you don't think straight and you
If
have
your
this
anxiety is that bad, release yourself from it and say, of course I have no effect on this. right?
It's
Like
not that easy,
what do
Darrin.
they say? Like you've got emotion mind and
Yeah.
rational
Rational
mind, right?
mind.
Right,
Yep.
and then you bring those two together and you get wise mind. If you want to be wise, balance that emotional superstition with rationalization. Like what's actually real?
Yeah. You know what's
You're saying.
real? We are together, Darrin. We make wise mind. My friend
Yes, you
Fede,
and
who
I.
came with me to the game, him and his son, he's a psych nurse. We were talking about this in another context.
Yep.
Hashtag DBT. You're rational mind, I'm emotional mind, and together we make wise
Oh,
mind. So there
right.
you go.
I
I
like
thought
that.
that was super cool.
I like that.
But
Who said that?
my friend Fede, very
Oh, is
smart
that right?
guy. Yeah, yeah. He's a
Very
psych
cool.
He's a psych nurse. Well, he's not a psych nurse, but he's a nurse who's psyched. He knows a lot about psych.
Okay.
Doing his
Uh,
master's degree. He's a
Bomb
smart man.
Bomber fan watching live on YouTube says Craig Dickinson equals not wise mind. Yeah, I mean things seem to be slipping between his fingers there.
Oh,
In
he's done. I have no doubt in my mind, Darrin, he's done after this year. I mean,
yeah,
he inherited a really good team from Chris Jones,
we're gonna
and
see
he's
some new
pissed
head
it away.
coaches. We're
Yeah.
gonna see some new head coaches next year. I don't think the Elks are gonna be one of those teams. I think
No,
Ottawa is gonna be one of those teams. I
could be.
think
I don't know though,
Saskatchewan.
dude. Ottawa's kind of turning it around with Nick I know they lost, but
No, come on, man. They had the game to win, and it was like I don't understand the play calling. Like, go back and watch the fourth quarter. I do not
I will.
understand
I haven't
play
watched the
calling.
game actually, so this is all news to me.
Yeah. Okay. So my bonfire burning point, and somebody else mentioned this earlier that the Bolo touchdown, the Brennan O'Leary orange
Yeah.
first touchdown of his career, that capped a 9-play, 60-yard drive that made it 37-20. I'm going to go one series before that and to a play that turned a Saskatchewan touchdown
Mm,
into a field goal, and that was
golden.
Cody Fajardo run of 14. Nick Hallett hit him, and then they threw the flag. And then after some conversation, they picked the flag up and just gave the 14-yard run to Fajardo. That could have set them up right on the doorstep. I've been saying his name wrong. Kyron Moore, Swerve, they call him. That's probably why they call him that. He had a touchdown negated by a
Yeah.
holding penalty on Evan Johnson on the offensive line. Jackson Jeffcoat then had a 13-yard pushback sack.
Yeah.
And then Shaq Evans, an 11-yard catch that made it a little bit more of a manageable 34-yard field goal. 11 plays on that drive for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but that made it 30-20. If they were able to get a touchdown there
Yeah.
because of Kyron Moore or because of a penalty to Nick Hallett that could have set them up with a short yardage shot, that would have been a one-score game late in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So midway late, kind of in there somewhere. So that's my bonfire burning point. The flag that they picked up, and then the next play, or I think it was one play later, the Kyron Moore touchdown negated by the holding penalty on the offensive line.
I like that, Darrin. I think that's a solid pick. And
Thanks.
and
Thank
and
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, I respect you, buddy.
No,
I know
you
some
don't. Don't lie to the hundreds watching out there. That's not true. I'm
Hey,
kidding. I met your mother-in-law last night.
yes,
I
you
touched on
did.
this. She is such a lovely person.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
so
awesome,
nice
man.
to meet her, and she kept saying all these things about, like, what you think of me and all this stuff, and I don't know
Really?
if
I
I
wasn't
believe
there
her.
for that. My ears are burning. What did she
I
say?
don't know if I believe her.
Oh, I believe her. Sarah doesn't mince words. She's not one to butter someone up. She's a straight shooter. I
Well,
won the freaking Grey Cup with that woman. Oh my god.
I think what people were really surprised to learn at the Prairie Rivalry Bash last night was that you and I have only known each other for a matter of
Yeah,
weeks,
dude.
really. You could count it in weeks if you want to. You could probably count it in months. But like you and I didn't know each other in like what? April?
Yeah.
May?
Yeah.
I think we met
I
in May, right?
Well, I had you on my podcast, I think in, like, March or February to set up the
Sure.
draft or something. Not the draft,
Like I got a lot of people like
but
not
you
tooting my
it's
own horn here at all.
whatever.
Lots of
That
people call me
wasn't
to be on
much.
their Lots of people call me to be on their podcast. Like people I don't know, like jump on this radio
May.
station and where
Yeah,
sure,
totally.
no problem,
May, I
right?
think we met actually. Yeah. But
That's
some people
crazy.
are calling us twins last night. We got the beard
Well,
and the
you're
same
finally
hat.
bringing the beer. I don't have the eye black smeared all over my face like you
It's
do.
not eye
Sir.
black. It was I actually shouldn't have picked it up, but it was disgusting. But I found it on the ground. It was some
You found
it,
what on the ground?
it was some face paint, and it has the blue, yellow, blue on it as stripes, and I put it on, and yeah.
What? Why are you picking that up off the ground? Like you're
I don't know.
literally
I
here
was
with
so
your
into I was
daughter.
like, it's so cool.
Wait, hang on. How old is your daughter?
7.
Oh, I thought she was 6. Okay, 7. She's 7. Her friend with her is 6 or 7. And they're watching dad pick something up off the ground and smear it on his face.
I never called myself a good dad.
Sheesh.
Anyway, listen. Your burning point is solid. I think another good one might be when Alford gets the kick return touchdown, right? All of a sudden it's a bit more of a game. I don't remember the score at that point. Maybe it was back to, I think they were winning 27-10 at half, and all of a sudden 27-17 or something. I
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's right.
and so all of a sudden it's a game, right? And then the Bombers, they don't score a touchdown after that, but they just keep marching, and they kick a field goal. Of course I am. It is war paint. Thank you, Greg.
Some
Yeah, they
people are chirping
kick
you
a
and some
field
people
goal.
say you're their hero. Zach picks up chewed gum. I sure
I'm
hope you do.
polarizing. Like,
You're what? Polarizing? Yes, you are
polarizing.
polarizing.
I am
But like I don't
polarizing.
understand the people that polarize, are on the pole against you. I really don't understand those people.
Yeah, no, you can't be against me. You're either with me
Or you're
or
you're
against me,
with me.
or you're wrong. I don't pick up chewed gum, okay? That's gross. And I would never put chewed gum under a seat, let me tell you that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
even worse.
I think Comet says it well here. If you grab gum from under your seat and eat it, then I'd be concerned. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you
Yeah,
there, Comet.
yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Cabillas, he always says it as it is. No F's given. He'll pick a Walby burger off the ground, smear it on his face. Yeah, hey, your true passion, Zach Schnitzer, as an objective observer and fan of football, but objective observer of this game and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I love having a passionate fan that is knowledgeable and locked in tune like you are, because we just have a ton of fun here on Game Day After
We
Dark.
certainly do, my friend.
What do we
Love
got
work.
next?
What
We got our game balls.
No, wait, what do we got here?
I think it's our
We
game
really
balls.
got to write this. we have we did the Happy Honker, Burning Point, Walby's Warrior, Western.
Westy.
Yeah, I guess we've done it all. So we get the game balls, hey?
Let's get to
Okay,
it.
folks, what are the game balls? What do you guys think?
Who's your player of the game out there today? Lots of potential picks.
For me, it's there's so many. I mean, there's Demski, there's Bailey, there's Shone, who gets what? I think he tied a rookie record for the Bombers with a 10, and now he's the league leader, 10th touchdown.
Somebody chimed in earlier and said that's held by somebody 1953 named Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, I thought that was a joke.
Yeah, the astronaut.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Demski I thought was absolutely phenomenal, both running the ball and catching the ball. Jeff,
I want to hear people's thoughts on this. You worried about legs?
Well, it'd be interesting if this was a close game. Yes, I think nobody's even thinking about it. I think, Darrin, though, for me, it has to be a tandem one with Zach Collaros being perfect. He's literally perfect tonight. And I think some of that we got
not literally.
Like actually perfect. Actually, okay, fine, Mr.
Seemingly perfect.
He's perfect.
See, everybody, like somebody was mentioning earlier that I described anxiety as not how it works. I said leave that to Zach, the trained certified counselor. I'm
certified in
I'm the words guy, right? I'm the English guy. So not literally perfect, but he was seemingly perfect. Figuratively,
but he was, 84%, 4 touchdowns, 21 of 25, so on point, so patient in the pocket, running outside the pocket. The guy can do it all, man. Like, he can sit back there like a Ricky Ray. He can extend the play. He can call an audible. He's such a competitor, man, and I know we talk about him every game. 6.9 yards on first down for the Bombers was huge. You get that kind of production, it was double what Saskatchewan had on first down. We really contained Frankie Hicks, and it kept except for a couple explosions. I just think Buck Pierce called an absolutely brilliant game. He did his film study. He had these guys ready to go, and they just had to execute. And Zach Collaros, I have to give it to him. He was absolutely brilliant. You throw 4 touchdowns. It's akin to the hey Vicky. That's akin to the game he had in BC, Darrin, where he was just brilliant. And he's the MOP. And quite frankly, right now it's not even close. With Rourke down, it's not even close.
If I had to vote today, and even if I had to vote today, presuming it's the end of the year, Nathan Rourke is my top Canadian.
Yeah.
And Zach
he has
Clark
to get something. Yeah, I mean he's absolutely brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. The guy is what? Now 29-3, and he should be 30-2 if Legio doesn't miss those 2 kicks, right? Like
Sure.
It's insane. He's such a winner, man.
Yeah, no. That's what he is. He just wins. He just wins. He finds a way to win. He won a game this year going 43% passing
Right?
in Edmonton of all places.
I know.
Right?
So Collaros gets my number 1 game ball. Buck Pierce gets a game ball.
Good choice.
For me, Willie Jefferson and Jackson Jeffcoat both get game balls. Particularly Willie Jefferson gets that fumble. That's when my daughter and I did the Schnitzer stair climb. We both did it.
We did nice.
Yeah, we both did it, and
That's a nice
that
moment for father-daughter.
Yes, father-daughter, the best, and yeah, just great for Willie Jefferson. Mind you, he's playing against a Swiss cheese O-line, but hey, listen, you play who you get, and it was just absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Bomber fans had some good comments in the live chat tonight. Don't even know who the second best QB in the league is. Jake Mayer looking pretty average versus Edmonton. Collaros and everyone else with Rourke down. I mean, it's a shame Jeremiah Masoli's season.
Yeah, Masoli was looking good.
Let's not go on and on as we have about how that happened. Collaros is a magician. Yeah, Cuppers, I'm with you there for sure. What's the T-Pain song for Collaros, waiters? I would like to know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Oh, yeah, we like that.
Yeah, I pulled that out. Zach Houdini Collaros. Yeah, absolutely, Bob, man. Well put. Why not Nick Demski as top Canadian?
Absolutely.
If he continues to put up, triple-digit total yards for the rest of the season, yeah, he's going to be. I mean, Nathan Rourke was just so unbelievably dominant.
And Darrin, yeah, and then you look at how
except Winnipeg.
And I know we don't do an MVP in the CFL, we do an MOP, but there's no more illustrative example. Look at the difference between the BC Lions now and with Nathan Rourke. I mean, they're really basically what, a 500 team now at best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's actually quite sad, and I don't think Vernon Adams is going to take them over the top. I think he'll help them a little bit, but that's maybe a talk for Wednesday. But the Rourke injury is a real tragedy for this league, and I'm quite sad that happened.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Who are your So Jefferson, I thought Jeffcoat were just absolute animals.
So you gave it to Collaros, Pierce,
Buck Pierce, Nick Demski gets a game ball. I mean, so many guys could get a game ball.
You gave a lot of game balls. I'm just going to
I'm free. And the other thing I'll say is I forgot this for my Happy Honker, but you already had Terrell. You already had, what is his name? Terrell Parker, who's getting picked on the field side, the DB.
Jamal Parker.
Terrell Parker. Terrell Parker was a guy back in the 2012 season. I think he had the most tackles on the team, and then he got injured and we never saw him again. Yeah,
the
Terrell
weak side linebacker. Yeah.
Look it up with who was the DC back then, who became the coach,
Tim Burke.
Tim Burke. Yeah,
Greatest quote
2013.
in Blue Bombers head coaching history in my
You
in my
can't win the
opinion.
Kentucky Derby with a mule, baby. Was that what you were
No,
thinking of?
well, no, that's a good one. My favorite quote from Tim Burke is the Arab Spring was happening in Egypt, and a Blue Bomber said something stupid on Twitter. It was like 2013. Twitter was kind of new. Players were going bonkers with it and just getting a little loose lipped. And he said, Twitter is the bane of the world, except in Egypt. As the Arab Spring was going down, and
Oh my
Twitter was really
god.
the only way they were able to get a lot of.
That's incredible. Oh yeah, Vicky Short. Yeah, O'Shea's challenges. How could I not be like Oprah giving away game balls tonight, folks? They won. They scored the most points ever at IG Field
Yeah,
at the Banjo Bowl, and I'm wearing this chain. Come
yeah,
on.
you look ridiculous.
Come on. How could I not be overly excited? How
If I
could
was
I
a
not?
fan, I'd probably want one of those chains. I don't know if I'd wear it a lot. I think I would just kind of
Dude, the
hang it up.
Bombers store, the margin they made on these chains.
Like, what's the W made out of? Foam?
Really it was a donation to the Bombers organization, buddy.
You get a
Like,
tax receipt?
my wife sees it, she's like, that's probably cost them what, like $1 to make those, if that, but you gotta
Yeah.
have one of these. And my daughter's friend, he's kind of a basketball guy, and he has sort of a sideways black hat, he had a black sort of NBA shirt, and he was wearing the chain with his basketball shoes. He was amazing. That was incredible. But yeah, too many game balls to give out. I mean, just
Oh,
everybody on the team.
you gave away too many game balls.
I gave away
That's
two.
okay.
That someone said that I was like Oprah. I am going to be sleeping with this Towzan. Uh, the other thing I just wanted to say about Jamal Parker, he's a guy that you knew they were going to pick on that field side, Darrin. And then you see Nick Taylor go down, and I really hope that's not a bad one, but it looked bad. And we are really getting thin at DB. Like Brandon Alexander couldn't come back at a better time, but Evan Holm was back there, and I thought, those guys, they didn't get embarrassed. And
It
listen,
helps when you got those big boys up front.
it certainly does, right? But I was happy that they didn't get burnt. And I do want to say, I know I'm going on and on here, but to see Noah Hallett fight so hard to get back
Yeah.
in to the game, to
I
get
was
back onto
talking about
the
him before
roster,
you jumped on.
and
Yeah.
then to get hurt right away, and you saw his brother, his brother just walked right by him and couldn't even look at him and just shook his head. I think he was just so upset. But good news for Brandon Alexander. He was When that flag went on roughing the passer on Fajardo that was picked up. Good job by the command center for once doing their job. Brandon Alexander, when the call was reversed, was like jumping up and down, and he was moving well. So I think we'll see him back pretty soon. Kyrie Wilson also, there's no hardware on his legs. If it's a lower body injury, Darrin, he's walking around in street clothes. There's no brace. There's no cast. There's no walking boot. Anyway, I'll go. What does this hate to say?
Sorry, Brooks. No. I understand it's informal use. Like, do you know the word nice? The word nice used to mean nasty. Like, quit being so nice all the time. It would mean if like you were kind of a rude person.
Really?
Yes. And through the years, it evolved into being nice.
Really?
It's kind of like, if something's stupid good, right? Like the Bombers offense tonight was stupid good. Well, they weren't stupid. They were stupid good. I digress.
You take a shot, Mister.
Can I give my game ball now? Or are you gonna like take them all?
No, I'll share. You can have one game ball, okay? You
I
only
only
get
want one game
one,
ball.
Mister Bauming.
I only want one game ball, Zach. I'm
And you only
giving.
need one.
You can have the others, okay? And keeping in mind that one of your game balls went to Zach Kalaris and he gave it to Sarah Orlesky. So that's
Yeah.
good. My game ball tonight goes to a man who was just impactful when he needed to be and led the way. And I think he played his best game of the year. And that is Willie Jefferson. 3 tackles, 2 sacks, including a strip sack of Cody Fajardo that was recovered by Jackson Jeffcoat. Willie Jefferson came to play today, and he gets my game ball. A lot of guys deserving of game balls today. Dakota Prukop, I think, maybe a honorable mention. But I'm going to give it to Willie Jefferson. Just one ball today because you gave away a half dozen.
I have so many balls, and I gave them all away.
Way to go. Well, geez, like I almost feel like that's it.
No, we can't. We got to go for a few more minutes. Come on.
You got your sundown and you're just fired up. Meanwhile, I'm
I'm
exhausted and I got to call a football game tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Rifles,
Okay, fine.
Colts, 11 a.m. You need to be there. If you can't, cjfltv.com. Matt Rollison, the one and only Rolly, will join me on the call.
Excellent. No, I got to get to one of those games and super fun. Yeah, now I have no balls, Towson. That's right. They're gone. The kids are all born. That's fine. I don't need them anymore. They're done. I'm done. You know, I do want to say one of our huge ambassadors to the fan community is Tina, aka Bomber Woman. Lost her Baba today, and so I'm thinking of her. She couldn't make it to the game, of course. Had her last moments with her Baba, and I just love Tina. I saw her last night, and she's a gem. And yeah, just thinking of her. It is Fan Appreciation Day tomorrow, right? 12:30 to 3:30. I might have to make an appearance. Is anybody else going here on the chat?
No, they're going to the Rifles game.
You're going to the
Meanwhile, Scott Roger, rifle up. CJFL score, the Hilltops out of Saskatoon beating the Regina Thunder 10-3 at the half.
Nice.
The Rifles beat the Hilltops just a week ago, then had a bye. They're now facing Calgary. That's number 7 in the country. Hilltops were 2. I'm not sure where they are right now, but the Thunder, the Hilltops, the Rifles, all in the mix to win the best conference in Canadian junior football. So get on the train early, hop on the wagon. Everybody's welcome. Hashtag rifle up at Rifles Football and all the social media channels. They had a just awesome win a week and a half ago, and they're going for another one tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Well, dude, when you say the QB looks like Josh Allen, I mean, that's pretty compelling. If that doesn't compel you to go
into, dude, man.
I mean, Josh Allen.
Yeah. Yeah, Bryson McNeil.
McNeil, that's a solid name too.
Yeah. But he really came out. His coming out party was in the playoffs last year. They lost in Regina, but in that loss, he was named Offensive Player of the Week in the whole conference.
Really? In a loss.
Like, he just came out of his shell, and it's like the Rifles are a new team with him, with a rebuilt offensive line, an extremely talented defensive secondary, strong linebacking and D-line play. The offensive line looks really good. They got 3 tailbacks. They kind of go like a 3-headed monster back there, led by veteran Sakina Scheibler. And they're a fun team to watch. Get out to the park if you can't. CJFLTV.com. Pushing them like crazy. The Winnipeg Rifles are a new sponsor of ours here on Bonfire Sports. So shout out Rifles Football, hashtag rifle up. Scott Roger, appreciate you keeping us updated. Scott Rogers' son, Jake, put up like 252 yards and an 82-yard touchdown a couple weeks ago in Regina. Absolute beast.
Are they going to change the name of Regina now because there's a king? Is it going to be like the King City?
No.
Rex?
No. Like there's Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, that's true. I was just wondering, someone brought that up because then instead of that stupid Gainer the Gopher, they could have like a T-Rex. At least that would be kind of cool.
Well, they're talking like Canada has so much, like $20 bill is the most commonly used denomination or currency, right? Do you know how much money it would cost Canada to like replace all of those 20s?
No.
Crazy.
I think they should have you and I on the $20 bill.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's more deserving people than you or I.
I don't think so. I don't think people really appreciate
Sarah on the 20.
Yeah, Sarah would be good on the 20. By the way, she had a sharp blazer today. My daughter, of course, noticed it. Is she
Yeah,
the one in the pink blazer?
that's awesome. And
Oh
wait,
man, if anyone else brought their kids on a day like this, like you're just on a high. I do want to say something cheesy before we go, Darren. That it was a year ago after the Banjo Bowl that I did an impromptu drunken podcast of my own volition that turned into the Let's Go Bombers podcast. I stuck with it, and I only stuck with it because of friends and family and people on this chat, people like Greg and Vicky, who kept listening and listened to me, bumble over myself and I got a little bit better as I went, but it was only because people stuck with me and were fans and were really, really, really supportive. And I wouldn't have done it without you. So I'm thinking about my good friend Caitlin right now and my mother-in-law and just great people in my life. And I'm just very lucky. And now a year later, here we are, and I'm just having so much fun. So I feel incredibly grateful to everybody, and also to you, Darren, that in just 1 year, now here we are, and we're just having a blast, man. It's so much fun to do this together, and I just feel very privileged and honored. And yeah, for sure, I'm going to throw that first one up there tonight, and you guys can all have a laugh at my expense. I couldn't even really talk. I was so hoarse, but I brought my bull bell tonight so I wouldn't have to scream. Those bull bells, by the way, my wrist is sore, and don't take that the other way, folks. But I'm talking about the big cowbells. The big, like, I'm talking about the XL cowbells they sell at the Bomber store. They pack a punch, but they're heavy. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm so appreciative of, and it's just so much fun. You go to the games, Darren, and they always mob you, right? Because last night, this guy Darren walks into the party at Finn McCool's, gets mobbed by like 20 women.
yeah,
It was
no,
unbelievable.
no. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I walk in. There is Kyle Walters and his new wife. They just got married recently,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, congratulations once again to them. And
She was
Kyle's
lovely,
like,
by the way.
oh,
I liked her a lot.
Kyle's like, holy shit, it's Darrin Bauming. And I'm like, shut up, Kyle. I'm just the guy that sings your praises for your amazing work with this franchise over the last 6-7 years. Pretty funny. But
Yeah,
no, like just fans of football are fans of how they take in the game. Like, look, we got hundreds of people watching
yeah,
and listening to this here on Bonfire Sports. It's just great to be part of that community and give people a little bit, right? I'm here for you. I'm not here for me. I'm here for the fans. That's why I'm here. And Zach, to echo it right back to you, man. It's been great having you on this year. Obviously, we got a lot more bonfire to give through this season. But Bob Man asking, is this the first year bonfire? It is not.
no,
Chris Walby
no,
and I did a pregame show all last year. The one and only Nick Kowalski joined me
yeah,
in Hamilton for the Grey Cup. Phenomenal football guy,
yeah,
awesome mind, sharp, smart dude, and a talented, beyond understanding videographer, photographer, and artist. Head over to our YouTube page. You can find the Grey Cup playlist.
yeah. That was phenomenal stuff,
Dial
man.
back, watch those interviews that
Yeah,
Nick and I did with Stanley Bryant, like breaking down, having an emotional moment with Andrew Harris, with Drew Wolotarski sucking on the stogie, with so many people before and after the game. Kenny Lawler, his path to being a professional football player. There's tons of great stuff there, guys. Go check it out. Nick was awesome. And yeah, year 2 of Bonfire Sports. We're going to try to get some hockey going this winter. Zach, I would love to do a little bit of NFL with you once in a while.
hey,
That would be a
love
ton
it.
of fun. So everybody, join us. Come along. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Subscribe, right?
Yep.
You got to hit that subscribe button. I feel like you have to do a tutorial on that because all these people want to, but they don't. I don't know why. Is it
Sure.
something I said? Like, come on, hit the subscribe button. It's not.
You
It's
took your,
we're
it's from,
literally asking you to. Sorry, Darren, I had to. We're literally asking you to press a button. Come on, just do it.
just do it.
Just do it.
No,
Just
No.
do it.
Yeah, no, head down there right now. Give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. One of the most important things you can do out there to support us here on Bonfire Sports is tell your friends, tell your family, put it up on your social media, share it on Facebook, on Twitter, on your Reddit, wherever. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on
Right.
LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, right here on YouTube as well. We are where you wherever you take in your digital content. So, hey, let's have some fun. The Bombers are 12-1. They walk away with a ass whooping 54-20 victory over the Green Riders tonight. What
Woo!
an unbelievable performance from Zach Collaros and the Buck Pierce offense. People mentioning that I've got the pimp strut. I don't know what that's about, or
I
that
don't
I'm the
know.
Godfather. I don't get that. You
Nobody
guys
has
all
the
let me
pimp
know.
strat like super fan gold member who I read into today. I don't know if you guys know Gold Member, but he dresses like Gold Member from Austin Powers. My
Like,
God.
sugar in a waffle?
Yeah, exactly.
What is it? Pipe in a crepe?
Yeah. Yeah. He has like everything gold. He has a pimp cane and everything. Yeah,
Is
like
that what it is? Is that
yeah.
what they're talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He's a
hey,
he's a legend.
Bailey, thanks for joining us. I hope school is going well for you. Always great to have you on. I swore. Yeah, I did.
You
It happened.
did? When?
I know, like, I'm a radio guy, right? Like, I'm so used to, like,
No, you
I'll
never
get
swear.
fined if I say, something I shouldn't. But here we
When
are.
did
Like,
you swear?
this is a new world. Yeah, Arlen's got it. Bong and a blintz, pipe and a crepe,
Bong in a blitz.
smoke and a pancake. That's the original one.
Yeah, that's a good impression.
Well, if that's a hilarious movie from my
It's
younger
a
years.
beautiful. Should I? By the way, before we go, should I wear this every post game now? I
No,
think I'm gonna wear this to every game. I mean, I just love this chain.
I will. If you
Love
wear it
this.
on every post game show, I'll eventually show up at your house and probably out with it.
The look on my wife's face, Darren, and folks who are listening and watching when I walked in with this bad boy. How much did you pay for that? When I told her the price, oh my god, her like, oh my god, it was just beauty. It was I'll never forget that moment. It was
Lynn,
beautiful.
Lynn, I would love to tell you what words would get me fined on the radio, but I'm not going to do it in this format. Maybe if you track me down in person, I'll share some of those. But hate swearing at the ladies. That's something I don't like to do too much. But
Disrespectful.
it
Listen,
is a little bit disrespectful.
thank yeah.
Okay, so
Thank
last thing, everybody, you want to head to sia.com/bonfire. Hit it up. You get a nice healthy bonus. Holy cow, Zach, you look straight out of a Vanilla Ice video. Um, sia.com/bonfire, healthy bonus. Lots of opportunity there for you to have fun on the games, NFL, NHL, CFL, props, futures, tons of stuff. I did great tonight when I saw that a bunch of people were sick on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Okay,
Oh yeah.
let's throw a good chunk on the Bombers to cover, and they sure did. 1992 Zach Schnitzer. Yeah. Schnitz, I,
And
I
n-
like that.
I was so tempted to do the prop on Demski getting a touchdown. I felt so stupid, man. Like I had this gut feeling that when you have that intuition and you just know something's going to happen. And I'm not talking about the superstition crap. Like I'm talking about you really know. And I could have made some money. And I forgot. Steve Maria was on this, who's one of our friends here and in Section 128 guy. He heard us talking about taking Montreal, who was +3 at home against the Lions led by Antonio Pipkin flying across the country.
Yep.
And I said, bet the house on that, folks. And I forgot to. I got caught up in doing other stuff. I don't know what I was doing, man. I was going to bet all of my money on that. And so shout out to anybody who made some money on that. Pay attention, folks. Pay attention to SIA. There's some great stuff. There's literally ways to win money to pay for not to gamble, like to gamble huge amounts of money, but maybe pay for dinner for your for your friend or wife
A little
or
beer money.
husband or partner.
A little
Bit of
beer money
beer
is Walby
money.
and I like to say.
Maybe pay for things like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could keep talking on and on, but I'm going to stop. You have a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a ton of fun. So after you check out sia.com/bonfire, go to riflesfootball.com, check their schedule. There is a preview story by the one and only Mike Still teeing up this huge week 4 game for the Rifles. Head on down to the ballpark. It's going to be a ton of fun. If you can't make it down to Eastside Eagles Field, cjfltv.com. And then a little bit later in the year, they're going to be playing some games at IG Field or on their brand new field turf at Maple Grove Park. So be sure to check that out. Get Sarah on Bonfire. Yeah, we're going to get Sarah on Bonfire, or do
That'd
the
be
best
great.
to twist her arm and have her on. But hey, everybody, awesome stuff in the chat tonight. You guys brought it just like the Bombers did on the field. Fantastic performance from the entire roster, highlighted by Zach Collaros and the Blue Bombers offense. 12-1 off to Hamilton in 7 days' time. Saturday, September 17th. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff Central Time. So, Zach, you and I will have Bonfire midweek Wednesdays moving forward. Wednesday at 7:30. Chris Walby and I will have pregame coverage Friday, 3 p.m. as we always do, 3 o'clock the day before the game. We went a little early this week because Walby had to get some things tied up before heading to the game. And then,
what did he have to do? Walk the dog, he said?
I don't know. He always says something that's not actually what he needs to do. But either way, Wednesday at 7:30, day before the game at 3 for pregame. And then if you and I will have game day after dark right here on Bonfire Sports following Bombers Ticats, who are tied for last in the league. Bombers entering Hamilton.
Who are they going to? We'll talk midweek, buddy, on Wednesday at 7:30. But who are the Ticats even going to start that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll go back to Dane Evans, but we'll get to that then. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Appreciate it. Hey. Bombers win by a pile tonight. 50 burger on the board, 54-20 over the Saskatchewan Roughriders to move to 12-1 and win the season series against Saskatchewan. Last thought to you, Zach.
Hey, I just love the love on here. I'm just primping and doing all this with my backwards hat and chain. What a game, Darrin. It's so much fun. And let's keep this rolling. My only concern is that the Bombers lock up the West too quickly. And that provides, because you saw them rusty last year in that West final, giving up 6 turnovers. I just that does concern me because if you're a crazy fan, there's always has to be something that makes you anxious, right? But
Legio missed a convert today. Maybe just
Legio missed a convert. I know. It's like someone said on the chat, which I think was maybe the comment of the night, he should kick all his converts from 55 yards.
Right? Yeah, like take a time count, back it up.
Right. Like there's something about that 32. I don't know if I was talking to, well, I shouldn't say this on air, but I was talking to someone with the Bombers last night, and they said on that shank, famous shank against Montreal, he was like we had surmised, he was holding the golf club too tight. He just wanted to do perfectly right, and I think he's just got to work that out. But that
let it swing sometimes. Just let it swing.
Let it swing.
Just like your chain. Let your chain swing.
Let it swing. But you know what? He bought a lot of goodwill with that 55-yard field goal on the road and the LDC. So, hey, we'll give him some space. We'll give him some space. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining. It's been a real pleasure. This is just so much fun. Tell your friends. Retweet the episode drops, by the way. That also helps. You can share it on Facebook. Just spread the word out, and then we get more prizes for you guys, more cards, more TSV stuff to give away. Darrin can maybe get a new car. He's driving that rust bucket.
It's not rusty, but it's covered in yellow paint because I backed up into a yellow pole the other day because I'm
Ooh,
awesome.
way
Uh,
to go, buddy.
no,
Oh,
hey, everybody, pluck your banjos with glee tonight. We'll see you at the Rifles game tomorrow, Wednesday, 7:30. Day before the game at 3, post game back here as we always do on Game Day After Dark. The Schnitz will get his hat straightened out for the next game. But everybody, enjoy your night. New music on the intro and outro here on Game Day After
ooh.
Dark to keep the copyright people happy. So we'll see you next time here on Bonfire Sports.